Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, Tuesday, June 8th here, and this is the Early Bird Betting Show presented by the Coda Sports Gambling Network. We had a day off yesterday, but Kyle and I are back at it again today. Kyle, how was your Monday? And I guess since we haven't caught up since then, how was the weekend?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just on a little bit of a downward spiral right now, but there's so much time left in this month to bounce back here. I know it can happen, so we're doing all right.
Absolutely. Got to love the positive vibes. Of course, if you don't know, every month the Coda Cappers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter do have a monthly contest between all the cappers. And, of course, the this month, Kyle, it's been a little down. You've been kind of leading throughout most of the month, but haven't caught up all the standings here for today from yesterday's games. But it looks like maybe, just maybe, we could all be in negative units here coming out this morning.
Unless someone had a day, I know for a fact I'm negative. I don't, and I was the only one positive yesterday. So unless someone had like an absolute tear of a day, I feel like we're all going to be in the negative, which, like I said, lots of time left this month, though.
Yep, absolutely. I know one guy that did pretty well. He had one bet yesterday, a couple units, Soup. He had the over, of course, in the Nuggets and Suns game, 122 to 105. The over was 221, so he did hit that as they get to 227 there, and the Suns just kind of dismantled the Suns there. CP3 went off in the second half. Fourth quarter, I think he had, 13 or 14 of his 21 points come in that fourth quarter. So good for the Suns. I like the Suns. I also like the Nuggets. That's what sucks because I like really both these teams. And then the East, you had the Nets just dominated the Bucks from start to finish. And I know a lot of the experts were on the Bucks. There's like, how could the Bucks go down 2-0? And the Nets came out without James Harden and just put the clamps on them and won 125 to 86. So Kyle, out of those two games, just kind of anything stand out to you there?
You know, I was looking at that Suns team, excuse me, and 4 out of the 5 starters had 20 points for the Suns. I think DeAndre Ayton had 20, Michael Bridges had 23, Chris Paul had 21, Devin Booker had 21. The only one that didn't have 21 was Jay Crowder, and he had 14. I mean, that's a pretty dang good starting 5 for a game.
Absolutely, and DeAndre Ayton, his over-under for points thought it was a little low, 13 and a half. There was some juice there. I did jump on that, and we got it done. Obviously, he scored 20-plus points and had a really nice game. So the Suns off to a great start there. They lead that series, of course, 1-0. But a team, Kyle, here today that leads the series 1-0 already is the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks got it done in Game 1 and really, again, just dominated from really start to the final minute of that fourth quarter. Got a little dicey there for the Hawks in that fourth quarter. 5-second call there on Sunday, and Philly had it to, I think, 3 points with under 40 seconds to go, but the Hawks get the win there. So this line actually opened up the 76ers minus 4.5. It's jumped now to Philly minus 6, Kyle, the over-under 223. Then we also have the first game of the Los Angeles Clippers and the Utah Jazz. Of course, I have the Jazz. If you don't know, check out our latest video on the Coda Cappers network. We picked, all of us Cappers randomly picked teams. I got the Jazz. Kyle, who did you get again? Did you get the Clippers?
I got the Nuggets.
You got the Nuggets. Okay. All right. So there we go. And whoever wins the NBA title and, of course, is linked to that capper for the playoffs here will win some sort of prize. I haven't thought of the prize yet, but it'll be something good. So I have the Jazz. Kyle has the Nuggets, of course, who are down 1-0. But in this game here, Kyle, the first game, the Clippers Jazz. The Jazz opened up at 3.5-point favorites. They are now 4-point home favorites, and the over/under has dropped 1.5 to 220.5. So Kyle, out of these two games, what are you looking at here?
I'm really surprised that Philadelphia is favored by 6 points, especially with Joel Embiid questionable for the game.
Yep.
I mean, that very, very much surprised me. So I like Atlanta plus 6 here. I think that's a good move, especially for how they beat Philadelphia the last time. And with no Embiid, I think that's just a really good value move there. And I really like the Clippers here. I mean, Kawhi Leonard was absolutely unstoppable against the Dallas Mavericks there. I feel like he's going to keep it going. I think value is taking the money line. I think they can win at home against the Jazz. So I like Clippers money line here.
All right, there we go. Kyle and I on opposite sides to start the show here. I like the Sixers here. I like the Sixers minus 6. They didn't shoot very well, and the Hawks came out, and I don't know. Did they use all of their energy in Game 1? I guess we'll see coming into Game 2 here. So back at home, the Sixers, I think that even this series, I'll take the Sixers minus 6, and I like the home favorite too. I like the Jazz here. I just think they can get it done. Going back to that Sixers game too, the Sixers 6-1 ATS in their last 7 following a loss. So that's why I'm rolling with the Sixers there. And I like the Jazz at home here. Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to carry this Clippers team. I do have a prop bet I'll post on Twitter here at Coda Capper Pace later today. A Kawhi Leonard prop bet. I think I'm going to do points, rebounds, and assists. I think it's at 40.5, I think. Or 44.5, I think. So I'm going to have to jump on that over, but we'll see. You can check that out on Twitter, of course. So I'm going with the home teams here, Kyle. The Sixers and the Jazz.
All right, starting off every show like normal, opposite sides.
Exactly. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know. So it's good for the people. It gives a different angle, I suppose. But
right.
There we go. So there's our 2 games in the NBA. In the NHL, of course, we have 2 games as well, I believe. And last night we saw the Islanders put up some goals along with the Bruins. The Islanders won 5-4. I couldn't believe last night, Kyle, the Islanders were plus 165 on the money line. I know they were on the road, but a series tied 2-2. I thought that was a little high for them.
Yeah, it really was. And they've been underdogs all playoffs pretty much. So I think they like that mentality. And I mean, I was getting ready for the Gambling Feud show, and they're home underdogs for the next game too. So I just think they like that underdog mentality, and that just keeps them firing.
Yep, absolutely. So they lead the series there 3-2. As the next one will be obviously at the Coliseum. And then in overtime, the Canadians got it done against the Jets. The Jets, they tried to fight. It was also interesting too, Kyle. The third game of this series was on Sunday, and literally not 24 hours later, the 4th game happened on Monday. So I know they're trying to catch up and all that jazz, but again, we probably knew it was going to be a sweep as the Canadians get it done, 3-2 in overtime. I had the Canadians not run line. We're not. This is hockey now. So I had them minus 1.5, and it looked good right away in the first period. It was 2 rip, but then the Jets scored 2 goals in the second, no goals in the third for either team. But the Canadians get it done 3-2 there in overtime. So did you catch any of these 2 games, Kyle?
You know, I didn't get a chance to watch any of these games. I was on the Borelli's live stream for a little while there and just watched that. Sometimes that's more fun than actually watching the game itself.
Oh, absolutely.
But I didn't get a chance to watch any of the games, no.
Yeah, that Borelli stream is, man, that's just crazy. You just gotta love it. And I think my favorite part, too, is, I don't know if you've been seeing, like, the still photos. Someone's been going to Borelli's and, like, taking just, like, still photos. And it looks like it's just straight out of, like, it's just insane. The energy and the faces, and it's just very, very cool.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember seeing a tweet that someone said, can you imagine, like, 80-year-old like married couple going into Borelli's thinking they're just gonna have a nice night out and a bowl of possum, and there's all those people there.
Oh man, just wild, just wild. So that's awesome. All right, so in the NHL here we have 2 games here tonight. The Lightning trying to close out the Carolina Hurricanes. Tampa Bay minus 125 on the road. The over/under is 5.5. Then you have the Golden Knights, who I thought were dead, down 2-0 to the Avs, and then they won 2 straight, and they head back on the road to Colorado. The Avalanche, though, minus 145 at home. The over/under 5.5. So, Kyle, out of these 2 games, what do you like here?
This Lightning Hurricanes game, I really like the under. I know you got to eat a little juice or drink a little juice with that under at minus 130 on my sports book, but the under has been 3-1 in the last in this series so far, and you know, the last game was kind of a fluke. It was like a 6-4 game, and I just don't think it's going to be that high of a game. So I like the under 5.5 for this game. And in this Vegas-Colorado game, I think that the home team is going to win it more often than not. So I really, really like Colorado here. I think they can pull it off at home and try to win in Las Vegas. But I like Colorado to win this one and take a 3-2 lead.
All right. I like it. In this first game, I like the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they can get it done one more time. I think they'll win one more game, and then the Lightning will close it out at home 4-2. But the Hurricanes, of course, head-to-head, the underdog is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings of this series, so you have to like that. And the road team is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings, so that does worry me a little bit. But I think Tampa Bay wants to close this out at home, so I think Carolina can get it done here, and then they'll go back to Tampa Bay and close this one out. In this, I've been going back and forth. Golden Knights, like I said, I thought they were dead, but the Avalanche, obviously, you know, it's 2-2, and they head back home. The Golden Knights, Kyle, 3-7 in their last 10 meetings in Colorado. The under is 7-3, and the favorite is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. So I'm going to take the under here, and I also like, I know you have to drink a little juice, but I'll take the Colorado Avalanche as well.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to drink a little juice because sometimes that's the value move is just drinking a little juice. And I
Yeah.
think I think Vegas is gonna give them a run for their money. It's just really, really tough to win at Colorado.
No, I get that too. So, and it's not a ton of juice. Minus, I think 145 at my sports book it was. So it's not a ton.
Yeah, no, not a crazy amount.
Yep. So, all right, there we go. There's our picks for the NHL. Again, 2 NBA games, 2 NHL games. Just another fun Tuesday, Kyle, for us sports gamblers out there as we transition here into the MLB. It was only 3 games yesterday, but now we have a pretty full slate here today as we have a handful of games. I think we have 15 games. Everybody's back, I think. So we'll just start here, Kyle, with the first game of the day at 6:05 Central Time. You have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies minus 160. Over-under is at 9. Then you have the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Pirates. The Pirates minus 190 on the road. The over-under 8.5 there as Walker Buehler going for the Dodgers. Then you have the New York Mets taking on the Baltimore Orioles. The Mets just minus 111 on that money line against a team that is 10-20 at home in the Baltimore Orioles. The Mets, though, David Peterson on the mound and Bruce Zimmerman, who's had a pretty solid season going for the Orioles. Then at 6:10 Central Time, we have the Colorado Rockies, who are 4-22 on the road, Kyle, taking on the Marlins. And Miami minus 180. Over-under is at 7. And at 6:10, this will be the last game here. We'll go 5 at a time. At 6:10 Central, we have the Houston Astros taking on the Boston Red Sox. The Astros minus 115 on the road. Over-under is at 10. And as you have Martin Perez going for the Red Sox, he's 4-2, 3.09 ERA. So, Kyle, out of those 5 games, what stands out to you there?
I really like the Phillies here. Braves got Drew Smiley on the mound. He's been really, really struggling this year with a dang near 6 ERA. But Aaron Nola hasn't been too shabby. He hasn't been too shabby, but hasn't been great this season. So that's why I was tempting to go run line here. But I think just the money line, drinking a little juice is the move there. In this Mets-Orioles game, I like a 1-run scored first inning.
Okay.
Rather than a no-run first inning. I think a run will score first inning. I like that. I can get that at minus 125 my book. Just these 2 pitchers are not very good. David Peterson, dang near 6 ERA. Bruce Zimmerman, dang near 5 ERA. I think one of them will give up at least 1 run in the first inning. So I like that. In this Dodgers-Pirates game, Walker Buehler, man, what a season he's been having so far. And this Pirates lineup is just bad. I like Dodgers run line.
Okay.
And I'll take Astros money line as well. I think they can pull it off on the road in Fenway. And I think Valdez will play really well. So I like the Astros here.
All right, there's Kyle's picks again. If you want Kyle's best bets, you can follow him at the Gambling Feud podcast, of course, or his personal Twitter at Commdog, KOMMDOG. I got it right this time, Kyle.
Yes, you did. Good job.
There we go. It's gonna be a good day if I start out right there. So, all right, there's Kyle's picks in the MLB for the first 5 games there. I have 2 plays in this time slot. I like the Mets. I like the Mets minus 115. The Mets are 4-0 in their last 4 games following an off day. They're also 13-3 in their last 16 games as a favorite. So I'm going to roll with the Mets. I know Bruce Zimmerman's had a pretty solid season. Peterson going for the Mets hasn't been great this season. But again, I just can't back a team that's won 4 games out of 24 at home, Kyle. And so that's why I'm going to take the Mets here. And nice trends too. 13-3 in their last 16 games as favorites. That's pretty good. And then this Houston and Boston game, I'm going to roll with the total here. I'm going to take the over here, as the over is 10-2-1 in the Astros' last 13 games versus left-handed starters here. Obviously, Perez going for the Red Sox, so I'm going to roll with the over 10 here. Hope for runs, and hopefully that cashes. So those are my 2 bets in this time slot there, Kyle. In the next 5 games we have here, we go with the Brewers at the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds minus 135. The over-under here is at 8.5. Sonny Gray kind of struggled this season, Kyle, but he is the favorite here for the Reds. He's 1-4, 3.64 ERA. Then you have the Mariners taking on the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers minus 121 on the money line. Over-under is at 8.5 as Matthew Boyd, 2-6, 3.90 ERA going for Detroit. Then you have the Washington Nationals taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays minus 216. The over-under is at 7.5. Very interesting matchup here. John Lester, Tyler Glasnow. Lester, obviously, he's been a great pitcher in the past, but this year 0-2, 4.37 ERA there. But and then you have the Giants and taking on the Texas Rangers. The Giants minus 140. The over-under 8 as Alex Wood goes for the Giants and Jordan Lyles for the Rangers. And then let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Our other game here, the Minnesota Twins taking on the New York Yankees. This should be an interesting contest here. The Yankees minus 111, a road favorite. The over-under 9.5 as Jordan Montgomery going for the Yankees. Kind of surprised the Yankees maybe weren't heavier favorites here as Michael Pineda is going for the Twins. Jordan Montgomery, Kyle, 3-1, 3.92 ERA. So out of those 5 games, what do you like here, Kyle?
Anytime you're playing the Tigers and you're an underdog, you got to bet on the underdog. I'm going Mariners money line here. Absolutely a value move. I know they got Marco Gonzalez on the mound, who's been struggling quite a bit, but at some point you got to get a win. And against a Tigers lineup, it's a perfect time to do so. So I like the Mariners money line here. Absolutely a value move for me. In this Rays Nationals game, I actually like the Rays run line here.
Okay.
With Glasnow on the mound. Lester, like you said, been struggling all year round. I really, really like when Glasnow pitches. I think the Rays do a lot better on offense when he's on the mound. So I like them run line here. And you nailed on the head. I can't believe the Yankees aren't a bigger favorite than what they are. So, like, I think Yankees money line absolutely is a big time move here. And then the last game I got is this Giants-Rangers game. I can't believe the Giants aren't a bigger favorite with Alex Wood on the mound against the Texas Rangers. I know they're on the road, but you gotta hammer that money line, I think. So that'd be my play for that game as well.
All right, I'd like it. The Giants 19-7 in the last 26 meetings between these two teams, as Kyle gives us his picks there. I'm actually going to go with a little value pick. I know Jordan Lyles has struggled this season for the Rangers. They're at home, though, and they're 6-1 in their last 7 home games versus a left-handed starter. So I like the trend there. I'm going to roll with the Rangers. You can get them at some plus money and see what we can do there. And again, I'm with you. The Mariners against the Tigers. The Mariners 30-31 this season. Obviously, about 500, but the Tigers have struggled, right? They've been playing a little better ball. The Mariners 13-17 on the road. The Tigers 13-15 at home. The only thing that worries me a little bit, Matthew Boyd, 2-6 here, Kyle. I know Marco Gonzalez hasn't been great either, 1-3, a 5.01 ERA, but I think at plus money, I think it's a value move there to take the Seattle Mariners as well.
Absolutely.
So there we go. There's our picks in that time slot as we finish things off here with the 5 other games here. The Blue Jays taking on the Chicago White Sox, and the White Sox minus 140. The over-under is at 8.5. Then you have the Cleveland Indians taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Indians, Shane Bieber day there for B-Russ. Minus 160. Over-under is 7.5. 3 more games here on the slate as the Kansas City Royals taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Minus 153 at home. Over-under is at 8.5. Then the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Oakland Athletics. The teams of the A's minus 230 or 13, on that money line. The over-under is at 8.5 as Chris Bassett has a pretty solid season, 5-2 at 3.53 ERA going for Oakland. And the final game, the Cubs still out west. They're taking on the San Diego Padres. The Padres minus 180. Over-under, Kyle, here is 8 as Zach Davies goes for the Cubs. And Denilson Lamet for the San Diego Padres, 1-0, 2.5 ERA. So, Kyle, of those 5 games, what do you like here?
You viewers at home think I wasn't going to do a no-run first inning at least once today. You're crazy. I like a no-run first inning in this Blue Jays-White Sox game. You got Robbie Ray on the mound for the Blue Jays and Carlos Rodon for the White Sox. I think these two are going to start out really, really solid, then start maybe giving up some runs later on in the game. But I like a no-run first inning in that game.
Okay.
And then in this Indians-Cardinals game, Cardinals have Carlos Martinez in the mound, and me and DJ harped on him on the Gambling Feud podcast last time. He's just not good.
Yep.
So I like the Indians run line.
Okay.
I think that's a value move. I believe you can, let me see what my sports book has it as. You can get that at plus 100. So I think that's definitely a value move on my sports book. So I like them run line. I also like the Athletics run line.
Okay.
With Chris Bassett on the mound, who's been, like you said, been having a pretty solid season so far. And this Diamondbacks lineup has just been really, really struggling. Now, if Madison Bumgarner was on the mound, that'd be my mortal lock. But Bumgarner is not on the mound tonight. So I just like Athletics run line.
All right. There we go. There's Kyle's picks again. If you want his best bets, you can follow him on Twitter, KOMMDOG. Kyle, my picks here, I got 4 plays here in this time slot. I like the over in this Toronto-Chicago White Sox game. It's at 8. I like the over here. The over is 4-1 in Chicago's last 5 games after allowing 2 runs or less in their previous games. So I'm going to take the over in this one. And then I like the Royals. Little value play here, plus 138 on that money line. I think the Royals can get it done. They are 8-3 in their last 11 games on grass. I know that's a heck of a trend there, heck of a stat, but I'm going to roll with the Royals there, taking on the Angels as a road underdog, plus 138. Then this Diamondbacks-Arizona game. I think it's going to be a slow game here. I'm going to take the under. Obviously, the A's coming out with Chris Bassett. He's had a solid season, 5-2. A little worried about the Arizona pitcher as he's 0-1 with a 9.35 ERA. But I think there's going to be runs scored for the A's here, not so much for the Diamondbacks. So I'm going to take the under 8 runs in this one. And then my final play, I'm going to roll with the over in the Chicago Cubs-San Diego Padres game. As we look at some trends here, the over is 6-2 in the last 8 meetings in San Diego. So I like that. The Cubs actually 5-2 in their last 7 in San Diego too. But I like the over 8 there as well, Kyle. And those are my plays in that time slot. And I think that wraps up the MLB, right?
Yep, that should do it.
There we go. So if we, of course, I love some WNBA action. So we'll see if there's any lines out. Usually when we do the show, there's not. And look at this, Kyle. It is good day. It's going to be a good day. Some lines are out early here for the WNBA as the Minnesota Lynx head to the Washington Mystics. The Mystics are opened up at 2.5 home underdogs. They're now 2. The over-under is at 165. Looks like there for that contest. Then you have the Dallas Wings. Everybody knows on the show that Kyle's not a big fan of the Wings, as the Wings are 1.5-point road underdogs. The over-under against the Phoenix Mercury, 166. It actually dropped 2 points from when it opened. So, Kyle, out of those 2 games, anything stand out to you?
I like the Mystics at home here. I think they can get it done against the Minnesota Lynx. I like Sylvia Fowles for the Mystics. I think she can play really, really well against this Lynx team. So I like the Mystics as home underdogs. And if you think I'm betting for Dallas, you're crazy. I like Phoenix Mercury here. They're having a really, really solid season so far, and I think that can continue. And I mean, when you got a team with Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi, how can you not like bet for them?
Yeah. Especially with a close line like this.
Yes, absolutely. So I like Phoenix minus 1.5.
Yep, awesome. I also lean Phoenix a little bit here too. Again, when the Dallas Wings, they're solid. They're just a young squad, but like we said, the Phoenix Mercury have that little veteran leadership, kind of like the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul and Crowder. But I lean the Mercury here, and then I like the Lynx here. The Lynx coming off a big win at home. I think it was like a 25-point win to the Atlanta Dream. So I like the Minnesota Lynx. I think they can put one foot in front of the other, kind of get the season rolling. They've struggled a little bit. They've played only, 6 games, I think, and that's the fewest out of all 12 WNBA teams. So I'm going to roll with the Lynx here on the road and hopefully get a win at Washington and hopefully cash that bet there.
Perfect.
All right, Kyle, anything else before we wrap up the show here for Tuesday, June 8th? Man, I can't believe it's June 8th already.
I know, it's crazy. I don't have anything. It's just a good day to have a good day. So I'll cash some bets.
Put it on a T-shirt. That's what Kyle loves to say to wrap up the show. Gotta love it. It's a good day to have a good day. And it is, of course. Again, you can follow the network at Coda Cappers. We got the website too, CodaSportsCappers.com. We got a blog on there. We got some more blogs coming here today. I'll be writing a hockey blog, and then I'm going to write a WNBA betting blog too, I think, today. So watch out for those as well. Of course, you can follow Kyle at KOMMDOG on Twitter and check out the podcast with his cousin, DJ, of course, on Twitter. And a new episode tomorrow, Kyle, right?
Yep, got Puma Cakes on tonight.
Right, I was going to say.
Guest picker, and we're trying to keep that Elite 8 contest going. You know, it started off really, really tight, but now we're starting to get people taking pretty big leads on there. We didn't think anyone was going to beat Alex Long until Pace did. So now Pace is in the number 1 seed, so we'll see if he can remain there. But we got a couple of twists and turns that are going to be coming with this Elite 8 contest down the road, so be sure to tune in and pay attention to it.
Awesome. You can, again, find that tomorrow, Wednesday morning on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play. Kyle, when Puma Cakes comes on, you'll have to grill him. He was talking to me last night. He's kind of nervous. He's kind of nervous for tonight.
Okay. Well, you know, it's understandable, you know, like I remember how nervous, you know, DJ and I were whenever we first started the podcast. It really does come with a lot of experience and so on and so forth. I'm surprised though, because he was pretty active during our trivia contest. during our trivia contest. But I mean, you guys had beer us, mind you. But I mean, he still was very, very calm and comfortable. So that kind of surprises me a little bit. But
yeah, he might have been a couple beers deep. I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe he'll be the same way tonight. So we'll see. It should be a good interview. You don't want to miss that. It'll be out tomorrow, of course. Spotify, like I said, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. Pumba Cakes on the Gambling Feud podcast. There we go.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, comment, subscribe, like, all that stuff. You can find all of our cappers at the Coded Cappers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you for watching, and tomorrow's a new day, but let's cash some bets here today, Kyle, and we'll see everybody in the morning.
Let's have a day.